I am live. I am alive. Oh, yes, brothers and sisters. Hotep, and welcome to another Sunday online Njia Fellowship of the African Village and Cultural Center with yours truly, Dr. Ray Hagins. I am so glad you guys are with me. Just enjoy the groove right now, okay? I do own the rights to this music. It is entitled, So Glad I Can Be Myself. Yeah. Out of all of the songs that I've written, I consider this one to be my masterpiece because of the message, because of the horn lines. Ah, yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Of course, that is the late Eric Allen that you hear on saxophone. All of the other instruments is yours truly. On the bass, drums, keyboards, strings, yeah. Yeah. My goodness. Listen, if you're watching on YouTube, like my channel, hit that subscribe button so that whenever we go live, you'll know it. Okay? Oh, yeah. Play it, Eric. Yeah. Check it out. Well, I found out that I can be myself, and I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm so glad. Well, I found out that I can be myself, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Ah, yeah. Yes. Come on, sing it with me if you know it. So glad I can be myself. It really is good to know that I don't have to be nobody else. Yeah. I'm so glad I can be myself. I have peace because I don't have to be nobody else. It feels so nice to be free. I can be myself. I can really be me. Oh, yeah. I'm so glad I can be myself. I can be myself. Yeah. It sure is good to know that I don't have to be nobody else. Think about it. Oh. Well, I found out that I can be myself, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Well, I found out that I can be myself, yeah, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Well, I found out that I can be myself, and I'm so glad. Oh my goodness, brothers and sisters. Isn't that wonderful, man? To know that you can be yourself. What's even better, though, is knowing yourself. Okay? Because unless you know who you are, you will always end up being what someone else wants you to be. Once again, brothers and sisters, welcome to another Sunday online Njia Fellowship of the African Village and Cultural Center. I'm your teacher, your brother, your friend, the spiritual leader, teacher of the African Village, Ray Hagins. And brothers and sisters, I'm so honored that you guys have made time in your schedule to be with me. I see the many names here. Oh my goodness, yeah, man, it's so good to see you guys. Thank you for joining me every week. Man, we're so into this new norm. I don't know if we can even go back to the way we used to do things, man. Of being in the brick and mortar building. Shucks, man. It's deep. Nonetheless, here we are. One way or another, we're going to get this message out to you. Okay? And I'm excited that God has allowed us to do that. Well, let's do this one more time. One more time. God has allowed us to come together one more time. Okay, that's our opening song in the African Village. It's been so for the 24 years we've been there, but this has been my opening song for almost the last 50 years. So join me. Come on, everybody. One more time. One more time. God allowed us to come together one more time. Hey, Dr. Herndon. One more time, one more time, God allowed us to come together. One more time, God allowed us to come together. One more time, one more time, yeah, God allowed us to come together. One more time, one more time, one more time. God allowed us to come together. God allowed us, yeah, to come together to praise God's name, to praise His name. God allowed us to come together to praise His name, praise His name, to praise His name. God allowed us to come together. God allowed us, yeah, to come together to sing our song, to sing our song. God allowed us to come together to sing our song, to sing our song, to sing our song. God allowed us to come together to sing our, God allowed us, yeah. Now let's put those hands together, come on. To clap our hands, everybody. To clap our hands. God allowed us to come together, to clap our hands, to clap our hands, to clap our allowed us to come together. Everybody say one more time. Just one more time. God allowed us to come together one more time. One more time. One more time. Oh, God allowed us, yeah, to come together one more time. God allowed us, yeah, just to praise his name. God allowed us, yeah. Oh, shucks. You've been so good and kind. God allowed us, yeah. Oh, yes, he did. God allowed us, yeah. God allowed us to come together one more time. God allowed us to come together one more time. And brothers and sisters, do you not know that I have been singing that song? And congregations that I've worked with, I taught it to them as well. We sing it, of course, at the African Village. And man, we've been singing that song at least 2 times a week, 3 weeks for, oh my goodness, well over 50 years. And you know why? Because of the message in it. Think of the words. One more time. One more time. God allowed us. God allowed us to come together one more time. Yes, I know what I said. I said God allowed us to come together. So you guys that's in the room with me, okay, that's watching me or on Facebook or whatever, okay. And by the way, if you are, go ahead and share this, okay. Share it with your friends, with your list. But we need to let the world know that every day that we wake up, man, it's another day that God has allowed us to see. And so therefore, I give thanks and praise to the Most High for being so merciful in my life. I trust you guys out there doing okay. Before going another further, oath to the ancestors. Let's honor those who have gone before us and made it possible for us to be where we are right now. Excuse me. All right. If it had not been for their life, their deeds, their legacy, their contributions, we wouldn't be now. So join in with me and the brothers as we do this, okay? Come on, everybody. Oh, ancestors, blacker than 1,000 midnights, African ancestors, it is to you that we, your children, give respect and honor. Oh, ancestors, we call upon you and welcome you in this place. African ancestors, let your presence fill this place. Oh, ancestors, who have been purposely excluded from the history books so that the world would not know of your greatness. Our African ancestors who gave civilization to the world. Our African ancestors who gave the arts to the world. Our African ancestors who gave music to the world. Our African ancestors who gave the sciences to the world. Our African ancestors who gave mathematics to the world. Our African ancestors who gave medicine to the world. Our African ancestors who gave literature to the world. Our African ancestors who gave philosophy to the world. Our African ancestors who gave God consciousness to the world. Oh, ancestors, we thank you for devoting your life to make a future for us. Your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren now stand with us, strengthen us, guide us, teach us, and protect us from the snare of our enemies. Rise up, O African ancestors, and let our enemies be scattered, and give us the wisdom and the boldness to deal with our oppressors and those who would hinder the liberation and empowerment of our people. Rise up, O African ancestors, and live in us. And we will not fail to honor you. We will not fail to respect you. We will not fail to hear you. And we will not betray you. Ashe. Yes. And now, brothers and sisters, we want to take the time to honor just a few of the great Africans who have gone ahead of us. We call forth their great African names and honor them. To pharaohs Narmer, Zoja, Sneferu, Khufu, Khafre, Menkaure, and the great vizier and physician and multi-genius Imhotep, we say Ashe. To Queen Nitocris, Queen Sobek Neferu, Queen Ahotep, Queen Amos Nefertari, Queen King Hatshepsut, Nefertiti, Queen T, and Queen Nefertari II, we say Ashe. Yes. To Menkepenra Tahuti Mays, known as Thutmose III, Amenhotep III, Akhenaten, Tutankhamun, Ursama Akra, Setepenra, Rametsu Mariamin, Ramses II, Shabaka, Taharka, Hannibal, and the great African warrior Shaka Zulu, we say Ashe. To all of the kings, queens, priests, and warriors of Nubia, Waset, Ethiopia, Kemet, Kenya, the Congo, Tanzania, Uganda, Central, South, and West Alkibu land, we say Ashe. To the more than 600 million Africans whose lives were lost in the European invasions of Africa and in the Middle Passage, we say Ashe. To the more than 300 million who have since lost their lives to racism and hate crimes, we say Ashe. To Harriet Tubman, Ashe. Frederick Douglass, Ashe. Mary McLeod Bethune, Ashe. Nat Turner, Ashe. Fannie Lou Hamer, Ashe. Sojourner Truth, Ashe. Carter G. Woodson, Ashe. Booker T. Washington, Ashe. Dr. Charles Drew, Ashe. Noble Drew Ali, Ashe. Benjamin Banneker, Ashe. George Washington Carver, Ashe. Bishop Richard Allen, Ashe. Bishop Charles Harrison, Ashe. Howard Thurman, Ashe. Mother Mahalia Jackson, Ashe. The Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Ashe. Benjamin E. Mays, Ashe. Langston Hughes, Ashe. Medgar Evers, Ashe. Paul Robeson, Ashe. Dr. Martin Luther King, Ashe. Malcolm X, Ashe. Thurgood Marshall, Ashe. Mother Clara Hale, Ashe. Adam Clayton Powell, Ashe. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Ashe. Dr. Amos Wilson, Ashe. Dr. John Henrik Clark, Ashe. Dr. John G. Jackson, Ashe. Dr. Shikanta Diop, Ashe. Dr. Chancellor Williams, Ashe. Dr. George G. M. James, Ashe. Patrice Lumumba, Ashe. Kwame Ture, Ashe. Kwame Nkrumah, Ashe. Dr. Khalid Muhammad, Ashe. Dr. Jacob Carruthers, Ashe. Dr. Shaka Musa Badashando, Ashe. Yes. Brother Ray Charles, yes. To our mothers and fathers, Ashe. Our grandmothers and grandfathers, Ashe. To our great-grandmothers and great-grandfathers, Ashe. Yeah, our brothers and sisters, Ashe. Sons and daughters, Ashe. Aunts and uncles, Ashe. Nieces, nephews, cousins, Ashe. And all those who have gone ahead of us and have made their ancestral transition to their life, deeds, legacy, and contributions, we say Ashe. Again, we say Ashe. Again, we say Ashe. Come on and sing this praise with me. In the Arabic tongue, Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, Alhamdulillah. The English translation are these words: God is great and He's worthy to be praised. Yeah. I say hallelujah. God is great and He's worthy to be praised. Yeah. I say hallelujah. God make us one. We all should be one. And then the unbelievers will come and say, you are with us. God make us one. We all should be one. And then the unbelievers will come and say, you are with us. God, make us one. Yeah, we all should be one. And then the unbelievers will come and say, you are with us. Ah, yes. Under Allah. Yeah. Akbar. Under Allah. Oh, Allahu Akbar. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, brothers and sisters, every time I do that period of devotion every day, it gets me ready for the day. That's really what devotion is supposed to do anyway, And it's such an honor, brothers and sisters, to be an instrument, a voice in the Master's hands, okay, to speak to the world, man, and I'm excited about it. What can I tell you? Hey, I have the privilege of being a ma'akaru. You understand? That is, man, woo. A ma'akaru in the Kemetic tongue is a teacher of truth or a truth speaker. Okay? And when I think about the fact that the Most High rescued me from where I was, okay, helped me to clean up my mind, and then prepare me and position me to serve in the capacity that I serve in now, I can't help but glorify the Most High. Okay, because I could have been left out there in a sea of ignorance. Okay, wow, and you can say the same thing. Yeah, you can say the very same thing, man. Once again, brothers, welcome. I give honor to you today, to all of the brothers and sisters, to the African villages, wherever you are. We give honor to you today, starting, of course, with headquarters, the first African Village and Cultural Center, Temple number 1, right? Okay, and then, of course, the second one that came into existence was Youngstown, Ohio, 9 years later, and I think about how when we started, I remember the 9-month pregnancy entering into my head. But I also knew that it wasn't a 9-month situation. That's not realistic. I mean, how much can you really accomplish in 9 months? So my spirit translated that 9 months into 9 years. And it was exactly 9 years after we started that we gave birth to our first fellowship there in Youngstown, Ohio. And so we honor our elders and members and brothers there in Youngstown. Okay. Thank you for your support, for being who you are. And then guess what, y'all? We came up with another African village in Detroit, Michigan. All right. Yes, the brothers and sisters out there got busy. And for those of you who've been asking, what's the address of the Detroit? I'm not sure that they're in fact, to be honest with you, no African villages are meeting at the present time. Maybe in Memphis, because they're on fire down there. Okay. But we haven't been meeting since the pandemic came into existence. All right. And we've gotten so used to this mode or this modality now that some have actually said, Doc, listen, as long as I'm getting fed, that's all I care about. I'm not worried about us even coming together, even though we do enjoy the fellowship when we do come together. Okay. But hey, man, what can I tell you? But to the African village of Detroit, Michigan, to the African village there of Brooklyn, New York, to the African village of Charleston, South Carolina, to the African village, oh my God, man, where? Of Memphis, I think Memphis, Tennessee, yes, to Kansas City, our affiliate there, Baba Kazuma, there in Kansas City. Oh my goodness, man! To our brothers and sisters, my mind is going missing names of places to call here. But my goodness, we have a study group, brothers and sisters there in the motherland, okay, in St. Thomas. Oh my goodness, the Virgin Islands, St. Thomas, St. John, St. Croix. Oh my goodness. Of course, down in Jamaica. Okay, and today we honor my dear friend and brother, Muta Baruka there, and the radio station, IRE FM, to our brothers and sisters down there in Jamaica. Yeah, man. Oh goodness. To our friends and supporters on military bases everywhere. Oh, it's so many, and our look at how our numbers are increasing. Like I said, share this video. Just go ahead and hit that share button. Make the numbers jump up right now. Okay. But I'm excited about how our growth is taking place, brothers and sisters. It's such a wonderful thing. And I'm excited and proud of you, okay, for being excited too, okay, because it's really up to you how this thing spreads. I'm only one person, right? But if all of us individuals, okay, do the work of spreading this message, wow, can you imagine the impact that it would have on the world? Yeah. Wow, man. So we honor everybody today. Again, thank you for being with us. Okay, and of course, today our sister Wakila Shabazz was to be our guest musician soloist today, and she did a long 2-set concert on last evening, and she called me this morning, and her voice is shot, so we just have to catch her another time. Okay, so Sister Wakila, we understand, sis. Not a problem at all. We'll see you next time. Not a problem. Okay. And again, you did a wonderful job last night, sis. As you always do. You always do. Okay, you always do that. Well, family, let me share. Let me. I want to do something I don't usually do. Okay, what time is it? Oh man, it's time for me to get into the message. I'll save it for another time. I was going to testify. Okay, but I'll just testify at another time. I got plenty of time to do that. But right now, let's get to the teaching for today. All right. So, brothers and sisters, I would, if you will, join me, man. Hey, let's do this today. Okay. I'm excited, man. I'll tell you, I'm so lit up. And the reason why I'm lit up, brothers and sisters, is because like I said, man, I am an instrument. I am an instrument in the hands of the Most High. Now, listen, I just used an anthropomorphic statement. Okay. And it's not good to anthropomorphize God. And for those of you who don't know what anthropomorphize is, anthropomorphize, yeah. Anthropos is Latin for man, anthropos, right? Okay, or human features, man-like. Okay, so when we anthropomorphize and we morph the invisible, okay, we morph the untangible, we morph the non-corporeal, meaning it can't be touched or felt because it's spirit. Okay. However, what we have done to help us relate to the Most High on a more realistic level in line with our humanity is we use terms, human terms, and human expressions to describe things that we would say God is doing. Like, God touched me. They got a song, He touched me, right? Okay, well, God, He touched me with His hand of mercy or His finger of love. God doesn't have a hand, God doesn't have fingers. So how can He touch you with His hand of mercy or His finger of love? See, so what we did by that is we anthropomorphized the Most High. We really shouldn't do that. Okay. And when I do it, it's because I guess I've done it for so long, I'm still being delivered from it. Okay. But long as you guys know what I mean when I say a thing, that's what's most important. A lot of times people like to get into little idiosyncratic arguments of a word, whether it's used or not, like the word God, right? You know, and we get bent out of shape over that instead of seeing the meaning, and we have to get past that foolishness, man. And start learning how to hear what a person means when they say what they say. Don't get hung up over a word. Why? Because a word, grab this, a word is nothing but sound that you give meaning to. Grab what I'm saying, okay? A word is nothing but a sound that you or someone else gave meaning to. And you incorporated that meaning to whereas it affected you intellectually and emotionally. And so when somebody says a word that you don't like, you want to try to spend your time correcting instead of just knowing what they mean. Okay? So, yeah, we got a lot of work to do and overcoming little idiosyncratic stuff like that. But let's get to the teaching now. Okay. And what I'm going to ask you, brothers and sisters out there, to do, okay, is to start off with me, like I always start off, by making a circle like this with your fingertips. And repeat after me. The space inside this circle represents my realm of knowledge. All that I think I know about whatever I think I know is depicted right here within this circle. I must keep in mind that there is more to know than what is within the circumference of my awareness. Keep that in mind, brothers and sisters. I start all of my teachings off like that. You know why? Because, and I'm going to really deal with this today in today's teaching. All right. We think we already know. And once you think you know a thing, and you've done no research on it, you haven't validated or invalidated it, okay? But you are operating completely off of what you heard somebody else say or you grew up around. That's called osmosis. You absorbed your environment. And if your environment was practicing what is not true, but you grew up around it, you think it's true. Okay? Oh, this is going to get good today. So let's move forward here. What is my objective today? Well, my objective is the same thing every time I teach. It's actually the reason why I teach. Okay? It's and that is this. I do what I do because my assignment is to begin the process of undoing and reversing ideas and concepts that have been programmed into the minds of our people that have caused us to adopt a cognitive reality or a belief system that has resulted in our loss of contact with what is real, our loss of contact with what is factual, our loss of contact with what is historical, and our loss of contact with what is spiritual. Now, let me explain to you why I say that. This is my assignment. Okay? Because, brothers and sisters, I look at my people. I look at us. I see the condition of our people on this planet. Okay? And I know we want to blame the white man. We want to blame everybody else. But you know what, y'all? Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Those days are gone by. You can be anything you want to be today. Take it from me. I'm a witness. Okay? You can be anything you want to be. Now, this whole program of what do you want to call it? Suppression, oppression. Yes, that went on at one point in history. It did. And it's still going on to some degree now, but not to the degree whereas they literally control your actions. Now, they may manipulate your actions subtly, okay, um, uh, with silent weapons. And when I say silent weapons, I mean things like the bottle, alcohol, okay, drinking, um, beliefs, religion. That's another silent weapon. All right. Um, these things have done more harm to us than anything else. And because we don't know the truth. Now, grab what I'm saying. Think about this. Think about it. And this, I remember when I was on duty one day in lockup down in Newark, police department there, and I'm noticing all of these African men and women, okay, locked up. In fact, one day I saw a whole chain of black men come in, all handcuffed, wrist to wrist, a human chain of black men, right? Well, what did it for me was I was talking to one of them, and come to find out I knew his mother. His mother was one of the district missionaries in the New Jersey state jurisdiction, right? And that's when it hit me. I watched this boy grow up in church. So why is he locked up? Why is he in jail? And then there's notice that there are far too many of our black people, our African men and women, our Kibulanian men and women who are incarcerated, but they grew up in church. So why is it that the cognitive reality that was forced upon them to believe in what the Roman Catholic Church made up, why didn't that belief system help them? Why didn't that belief system keep them out of crime? Why didn't that belief system keep them from doing drugs? Why didn't that belief system keep them from practicing domestic and physical abuse? Why didn't that belief system that they grew up in? Y'all grab what I'm saying? So in other words, it says this way in John 4:24, I believe. No, that's in John 8:38, maybe. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Well, that actually comes from the temple of the pyramid of Seti, the first in Sakata, right? It's right there in that pyramid. You shall know the truth, and by knowing the truth, you will be free. Okay. Uh, if my people who grew up in this program knew the truth, we would have the power that we're praying for. Okay, think about that. So, the best way to really get into this message today, right, is to ask you guys a question. And I'm going to do that. Here's the question. Listen to it well. Are you aware, or do you agree, that the minds of our people were tampered with? That's the first part of the question. It's really one question in two parts. First part again was, are you aware, or do you agree that the minds of our people were tampered with? Do you agree or don't you agree? Yeah or nay? Second part of that question is, do you agree that the minds of our people have been tampered with as a result of three things? Our forced capture. Secondly, our enslavement. And thirdly, our choice to practice being ignorant. But you never heard it said that way before, right? Our choice to practice being ignorant. Yeah. And of course, today's subject is entitled "To Those Who Faithfully Accept It." And you're going to see why I chose those words shortly. But to those who faithfully accept it. Think about that. To those who faithfully accept it. It's not true, but you faithfully accept it. So therefore it becomes real to you. There's no historical evidence or archaeological evidence, no empirical evidence whatsoever anywhere on this planet for what you claim, but yet you insist on believing it or living by it or holding on to it. Are we practicing ignorance? Man, think about it. You know what? I'm still dealing with that because that just came to me. Practicing ignorance. Damn. Ooh. Practicing ignorance, man. Let me share this with you, brothers and sisters. And I want to say this. I want to give a disclaimer before I say what I'm about to say here. In my opinion, okay, in my opinion, I'll say it again. In my opinion, the ultimate threat to the sons and daughters of Mother Africa, oh man, the ultimate threat to our Kibulanian people, the ultimate threat to us is the deliberate and systematic destruction of the minds of our people. That's why I have the phrase practicing ignorance. I think I'm gonna do a book on that. Man, these book titles are coming to me lately. Practicing ignorance. Yeah. Now, what is the ultimate goal? Okay? What is the ultimate goal of that threat to the sons and daughters of Mother Africa? All right? The ultimate goal of this threat is the extirpation. And when I say the extirpation, I mean the complete extermination or the complete elimination of normal functioning capacity to exercise critical thinking on the part of an individual or a group. I want to just take my time and talk to you guys today, okay? Because what I want to share with y'all today has to be understood, man. It has to be. It really does. Again, in my opinion, the ultimate threat to the sons and daughters of Mother Africa is the deliberate and systematic destruction of the minds of our people. Did you get that? In other words, the destruction of the minds of our people was intentional, okay, and systematic. It was planned out carefully over time, and then it was implemented using various agencies. to put our people in the shape that we're in. And what was the goal? To keep us from thinking. That's it. To keep us from thinking, man. Okay, so brothers and sisters, understand something. And I state again, in my opinion, the practice of ignorance, practicing ignorance, was the reason why, after developing such advanced civilizations, we African people have for the last two and a half millennia, okay? For the last 2.5 millennia, grab what I'm saying here, because we've been practicing ignorance, we have been assisting in our own destruction. Okay? And the nearly total subjugation of our motherland by foreign invaders. Why? Because we have been practicing ignorance. So again, the question today is, are you aware or do you agree that the minds of our people were tampered with as a result of our forced capture, enslavement, and our choice to practice ignorance? Now let me deal with that for a moment. Our choice to practice ignorance. Brothers and sisters, there is no excuse whatsoever today for being ignorant about anything in particular. Now, of course, we are not omniscient, so we're all ignorant about something. And again, don't be offended with the word ignorant. Please don't. Okay? The word ignorant simply means you don't know. It does not mean that you are mentally challenged. It doesn't mean that you're stupid or handicapped or nothing like that. Okay? It simply means you do not know about this particular topic or this particular point or issue. That's all ignorance means. Okay? So again, are you aware or do you agree that the minds of our people were tampered with as a result of our forced capture, enslavement, and our choice to practice ignorance? Yes, we've chosen to practice ignorance, y'all. And again, that's why I know what my assignment is: to begin the process of undoing and reversing ideas and concepts that have been programmed into the minds of our people, resulting in, now, you know what, instead of saying a cognitive reality right now, I'm going to say resulting in a psychosis. Yeah. Resulting in a psychosis that has caused us to lose contact with what is real, what is factual, what is historical, but most of all, what is spiritual. That's what we are, man. You have to understand something, brothers and sisters. The Euro-Gentile powers that be have developed an agenda. Yes, we're talking about long-range planning here. And of course, those of you who don't know no better, you think it's prophecy. No, they just simply wrote their agenda in a book they called the Bible. Okay? Of what's going to be happening in latter days and all that kind of stuff, and children will be against parents and parents will be against children, and the world will be in chaos. Of course, they knew the world would be in chaos because they planned for it to be in chaos and put it in a book. And because they wrote down their agenda, you who don't know no better call it prophecy. And then when they teach their offspring and their future generations what the agenda is, and then those future generations begin to carry out their agenda, those of you out there who don't know any better, you say that prophecy is being fulfilled. The Bible said this was going to happen. Yeah, well, the protocols of the wise elders of Zion said it was going to happen too. Okay? And you know why they said it was going to happen? Because they planned it. Yeah. Wow, man. So understand, brothers and sisters, the Euro-Gentile powers that be have developed an agenda and a method whose goal is to replace all indigenous cultures with their culture. It's called manifest destiny, in case you've never heard of it before. Don't take my word for it, write it down. Manifest destiny. Manifest destiny, brothers and sisters, is the European doctrine that the Aryan nation, meaning the European people, are destined to rule the world. That's why the Rothschilds and the Oppenheimers, okay, and what was this dude who had a country named after him? Uh, Zimbabwe. That's the actual name of the country, but it was he changed it from Zimbabwe to name it after him. Okay, and I don't know why I can't call this man's name. Doggone it. Cecil Rhodes. Okay, he had the country of Zimbabwe named Rhodes Asia, and of course we pronounce it as Rhodesia in Africa. Okay, but it's all about manifest destiny because Cecil Rhodes started a scholarship fund at Oxford University. It's called Rhodes Scholars, right? And the last will and testament of Cecil Rhodes must be carried out by all Rhodes scholars, past, present, and future. And what is the last will and testament of Cecil Rhodes? To colonize the entire earth under European rule. I mean, it's real simple, man. Look at how it's happening so subtly anyway. Why is it that I remember when they came out with the regulation, and the Federal Aviation Administration came out with the regulation that all aviators all over the world had to learn how to speak English. Now, that was no big thing for us here in America or in the UK, right? But what about the Japanese pilots and all the other pilots, from other countries? They had to learn how to speak English in order to fly a plane, even a little small plane, like the ones I fly. You have to speak English. So the fact that the English is making their language mandatory all over the world is you can see how they're replacing one of the ways indigenous cultures with theirs. Hope that makes sense. So the Euro-Gentile invaders, brothers and sisters, have for more than 2,500 years gone forth into the world and imposed their cultures on others. And the two main methods that have been used to do this are religion and military force. Understand how deep this goes, okay? In a previous message, I told y'all about a guy named Dr. Bobby Wright. And I told you that he talked about, and I love this analogy, he talked about the Matador and the bullfight, right? And I would encourage you guys to get to understand the symbology behind the bullfight. I taught on that as well. Okay, and of course, in Europe or in the Anglo-Saxon mind, the bull, okay, a big black powerful bull, okay, is literally the symbol of black male power. Think about that. That's why you have this bull, this black bull out here trying to get rid of this little skinny, skin tight pants, tight butt guy. You know, looks a little, I don't mean no harm when I say this, y'all, but I got to be honest with y'all. Looks a little, his sexuality looks a little compromised, a little skinny tight behind there out there fighting this big, massive bull. But the Matador is not afraid of the bull. You know why? Because the Matador makes sure that the bull practices ignorance. Ah! I think y'all see where I'm getting ready to go, right? The Matador is armed with swords that he's going to thrust into the bull over and over and over and over again until the bull collapses and becomes powerless. Sound familiar? Remember, the bull is the symbol of black male power. Don't take my word for it. You may want to reference Serlo's Dictionary of Symbols. Okay, and our sister, our late sister warrior, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, told us all about this. And Serlo's, and I believe Serlo's is spelled, I forgot how to spell it, man. Dang, how you spell Serlo's? I forgot. Okay, but Serlo's Dictionary of Symbols, it may be Cerlo. I don't know. But at any rate, if you look it up, just Google Serlo's and it'll give you the proper spelling if I'm wrong. But Serlo's Dictionary of Symbols, and you look in there and you'll see that the bull is the symbol of black male strength. Now, of course, who came up with that definition or that representation or that symbol? Meaning that white folk did, because that's how they see us, as strong and powerful. So they must neutralize that power. Brothers, hear me. They must neutralize you. So how do they do it? How do they neutralize you? By making you practice ignorance. Well, Brother Ray, how the bull supposed to practice being ignorant? It's called distraction. The Matador is standing there in front of the bull, this big, powerful animal that could destroy him in seconds. But the Matador is not worried. You know why? The Matador has something in his hand called a red cape. And that Matador knows that if anything is going to piss that bull off, it's going to be that red cape, because when a bull sees red, it does something to it. It does something to all of us. That's why, believe it or not, insurance companies charge you more money to insure your car if your car is red. Something about the color red, man, it just has an effect on us. Well, it does. It really has an effect on a bull. So the Matador holds this red cape in front of the bull, right? So the bull can focus on the cape instead of the Matador. And what does the bull do? It practices attacking the cape, which is nothing more than a distraction. I hope y'all see this, man. So when the bull charges at what is really worthless and a waste of his time, when the bull focuses attention on that distraction and goes after it, what does the Matador do? The Matador takes a sword and thrusts it into the bull. And he just keeps doing that over and over and over. It looks like the bull would learn. Okay, every time I go after this red cape, doggone it, I get stuck with this piece of iron. Nope. Know why? The bull is not practicing critical thinking. Oh my goodness, do you see the parallel here? Yeah. In a bullfight, the bull becomes brutalized while making repeated charges at the movement of a red cape. The Matador stands there and the bull goes after and he pulls it. And when he raises the cape up and the bull's head goes up looking at the distraction, he gets stabbed. Man, look at us, people. See us in this predicament. We are practicing ignorance. There's a red cape being waved before you. It's called religion. And you love it because you've been programmed to love it. If you really understood the agenda behind religion, like the agenda behind the red cape, you leave that foolishness alone and realize religion has nothing to do with God. Oh, man. Brothers and sisters, think about this. For well over 2.5 millennia, our Euro-Gentile matadors have been holding up the cape of democracy, cape of religion, cape of capitalism, cape of false flag operations, the red cape of miseducation. And all this time, we African people have been charging at the movement of these capes. Today's subject, again, are these words. To those who faithfully accept it. To those who faithfully accept it. Just like that powerful bull accepted the idea that if I charge this red cape, I'm going to be victorious. He accepted that. He faithfully accepted the idea of attacking the red cape. Y'all see where this is going? So the Roman Catholic Church, okay, or I should say the Christian church, okay, before Protestantism came into existence, the Roman Catholic Church was known as the Christian church, and it still is known as the Christian church, or simply known as the church. The Roman Catholic Church had these things called meetings, ecumenical council meetings. Now, you guys heard me talk on this a lot. And you know why? Because it's important for you to understand this. It's important for you to understand how the lies were formed and enforced. Until you know that, you're going to keep believing what you were raised on is the truth. Okay? Understand this, y'all. So go with me here. Let me put this on the screen. I want you guys to see this. Okay, from the Council of Chalcedon, which took place in 451 AD. Now, y'all have heard me teach on this plenty of times, right? Okay, you've heard me teach on this. Notice what it says. This wise, and of course, these are the exact words from the council meeting. And this is the fourth major ecumenical council meeting of the Roman Catholic Church. Roman Catholic bishops, y'all, not African conscious people, not Africans. And again, I want to emphasize, okay, African people. okay, the sons and daughters of Mother Africa, literally had nothing at all to do with the compilation of the Bible. Africans, when y'all gonna understand that. Okay, so the things that you quote and the things that you live by were actually written by the very people who committed the most horrific crimes in humanity against us. And yet you want to believe in the religion that they gave you. I did it. And the reason why I believed in it, because I was taught it by my parents. Nobody asked me. Nobody asked me, do you want to accept this religion? Okay. Then of course the singing of the choir, hey man, and my choir was a bad choir. I mean, shucks, man. So between the music, we had a packed house every week just because of the good music. So we had to be doing the right thing. Notice what it says here. These Roman Catholic bishops wrote these words. This wise and saving creed, okay? Creed becomes the belief system. This wise and saving belief system. Notice how they refer to their creed. The gift of divine grace was sufficient for a perfect understanding and establishment of religion. Doggone, I've been trying to tell y'all that they made this stuff up. Notice what it goes on to say. For its teaching about the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit is complete. And here's the key part right here. And this is where I chose the subject from for today. And what is it? The saving creed that they came up with. This doctrine, this belief system sets out the Lord's becoming human to those who faithfully accept it. Now, notice how that's worded. It didn't say it sets out the Lord's becoming human. Period. It didn't say it establishes the fact of the humanity of Christ. It doesn't say that. It says it sets out the Lord's becoming human to those who faithfully accept it. Let me let that sink in. To those who faithfully accept it. In other words, what these Roman Catholic bishops wrote is a fabrication, but it is powerful and it is real to those who faithfully accept what they fabricated. Do you see what I'm saying? And then when the teacher comes along, like Brother Ray or many other of our scholars, to try to get your mind right, you have a problem with the messenger because you think you already know the truth. Understand how deep this goes, family. Okay? So let's read the next part of this, what they said. Since we, and who is we? These Catholic bishops, right? Since we have formulated these things with all possible accuracy and attention, the sacred and universal synod decrees, in other words, we're making it a law, that no one, notice what I have highlighted here, okay? No one is permitted to produce or even to write down or compose any other creed or to think or teach otherwise. Let me just leave that there for you. So go back over that a couple of times. Thank you, family, for the donations that already started to come in. Wow, thank you. Okay, notice what it says. Since this, we have formulated these things with all possible accuracy and attention, the sacred and universal synod decrees that, wow, what gall, as my great-grandmother used to say. What gall. I can see her now. To think that you can tell somebody that they can't even think for themselves. You're not even allowed to think anything other than what these Roman Catholic bishops decided should be taught. And then James Stuart I of England and the sixth of Scotland, you call him King James, came along and had his version of the Bible written in 1611 by 47 scholars in his kingdom. Now, of course, we were taught it differently. Okay, we were taught that in the year 1600, God chose 40 different men to write the scriptures in the year 1600. And of course, we were taught that all scripture was given to them by inspiration of God, right? So we were taught in theology that 40 men over a period of 1600 years wrote the Bible. Not true. That is the biggest lie. Here's what happened. Not over 1600 years, but in the year 1600, James Stuart commissioned 47 of his hand-picked scholars to compile a Bible in his name. That project was completed 11 years later in the year 1611. And it is called the King James Version of the Bible. Okay, family? And guess what? Because of this council meeting right here, the Council of Chalcedon, anybody who comes along and says something other than what these Roman Catholic bishops wrote down to be doctrine and was forcefully taught to the masses, if anybody tries to come to set your daggone mind free, we experience mass attack, even the threat of physical death. Because Catholic bishops said you can't even think anything other than what they wrote. Notice what it goes on to say. As for those who dare either to compose another creed or even to promulgate or to teach or hand down another creed for those who wish to convert to a recognition of the truth, notice what it says. If you try to help people who want to convert and recognize the truth away from Hellenism or from Judaism or from any kind of heresy at all, if they be bishops or clerics, the bishops are to be deposed from the episcopacy and the clerics from the clergy. If they be monks or lay folk, they are to be anathematized. And what is anathematized, brothers and sisters? Wow. Anathematized means to be placed under a curse. No possibility of being saved. Think about that. If you think on your own, you could be accursed for that. Anathematized. And then if you try to share with someone else what you've learned, oh my God, you not only be anathematized, man, you almost be physically put to death. They try to assassinate your character, okay, assassinate your reputation, and if none of that works, then they'll go after you. Your support. They assassinate your support. They'll assassinate your friends. And I don't really mean take their lives, but assassinate the relationship. Okay, all that kind of stuff. Man, this program is deep, and that's why they go through so much to see to it that it's protected. We must understand what happened, brothers and sisters, between the years 500 and 1500 AD. Okay, we must understand that. Must understand that. Why do I say that? Because remember now, the Council of Chalcedon took place in what year? 451 AD. Got me? So when the Council of Chalcedon took place, all of a sudden you got these new rules passed, everybody got to live by. There were people who wasn't falling for it. There were people who simply were not agreeing to it. Okay? So the Roman Catholic Church said, we got to do something else. We need to thrust the world, the then known world, into darkness, meaning ignorance. So what they did is they blacked out information. Okay, they raided the libraries of Alexandria and Africa and Egypt, destroyed our libraries. Okay, and then wrote their own books and wrote themselves into history. But you don't know that because you weren't taught that over the pulpit. See, the pulpit has got your mind. I want the truth to have your mind, y'all, not the pulpit, or certainly not the pulpiteer. I want the truth to have your mind. The truth. Because that's the only thing that's going to make you free, man, is the truth. So since the results of the Council of Chalcedon wasn't being taken to like they wanted people to take to it, they said, okay, 49 years later, they said, here's what we're going to do. We're gonna black out information, okay, and literally forbid anybody to read there in Africa. Oh, this didn't go on in Europe. Well, I guess the Dark Ages could be considered all over the then known world, but the target was Africa, so that we could practice ignorance after they do their job. So from 500 AD, why? Because Council of Chalcedon 451 AD, and people didn't take to it, so they had to come up with a whole new program, which started in 500 AD, 49 years later, and it lasted for 1,000 years. From 500 AD to 1500 AD, 500 years. I'm sorry, 1,000 years. It started in the year 500 AD. For 1,000 years, we had an information suppression campaign going on. Okay, and they passed laws that said if anyone was caught reading these books out of Africa, you'd be put to death. Wow. And of course, after they finished creating their lie over that 1,000-year period, they came out of the Dark Ages because their lie is now compiled, even though they still have to go back with more council meetings and adjust this and adjust that and adjust this. Because when you make up a lie, you got to keep going back and addressing the inconsistencies in the lie. When they thought they had completed their program and wrote everything like they wanted it to be, that was 1,500. 1,000 years later, it came out of the Dark Ages, and it was called, you learned this in school, it was called the Renaissance. What is the Renaissance? Renaissance means the new way of doing things. And that's when everything got turned upside down. That's when the truth became the lie. That's when African geniuses started practicing ignorance. I'm going to be dealing with that this week. I mean, I don't mean so much teaching on it, but just thinking about it as I go. I'll probably do some short videos on practicing ignorance part 1, practicing ignorance part 2, practicing ignorance part, that kind of thing, because just the thought of practicing ignorance, just saying it like that, is our predicament. That is exactly our predicament. And if I can get us to stop practicing ignorance, man. Well, my time is up, family. Got to get ready to get out of here. Okay, but as you see here on the screen, I invite you to log on to our 24/7 webcasted teachings on our website. And the website's still under construction. It's going to be a few more weeks yet before it's completely put together as it should be. However, you are able to go to the website or the what do you call it? The address, wblr.com or theafricanvillage.org. And that's African with a K. Okay. You can still go there and pull up the 24/7 stream of me teaching. Okay. That's running, even though while the site is being constructed. Okay. So you're welcome to go there. I also invite you to go to the same location on Wednesday nights. Okay. And listen to the Q&A with Dr. Ray every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. All right. Also, please go to my YouTube channel. Many of you are probably there now. You are. I'm looking at the numbers. You are there now. While you're there on my YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe. Like my channel. Okay. It helps the channel. Like the channel and ring that bell. If you ring the bell, that means when I go live, you'll get an alert letting you know I'm live. Okay. Yeah. And subscribe to the channel there. All right. Also, as you see there, we invite you to make your donations. Help us with our work. Okay. Help us with our work. Yeah. Help us with our work. The donation address is there. If you're donating through PayPal, it's AfricanVillage1@AOL.com, as you see there on the screen. If you're making your donation through Cash App, the address is cash tag, that's the $, Dr. Ray Hagins. Or is not part of the address now. Okay, just cash tag Dr. Ray Hagins. Or if you're paying through Zelle, make your donation to my email address, rayhagins@gmail.com. Okay, if you're mailing in your donation, here's our address. Okay, the building is still there, y'all. We still get mail. We still get bills. We still get our utility bills. That's why, we just decided to make a move to put a stop to all that there. Yeah. Okay. When we were in there last week or week before last, rather, met with the elders in the congregation, and we decided to kind of let that facility go. It's really deep, man. You can become so attached to something. Grab what I'm saying here, because somebody needs what I'm getting ready to say right now. You can become so attached to something that you fail to see when it's time to move on, or you fail to see when it's time to let it go. Okay? Don't ever get that attached to something that when it's time to let it go, you don't let it go. All right, then you end up, it starts bringing you down. My dear friend and brother, Dr. Ray Morgan, says it this way. I heard him say it this way. Once you understand the purpose of a thing, I think this is how Ray said it. Once you understand the purpose of a thing, to continue to use the thing is to abuse the thing. Once you understand the purpose of a thing, and the purpose of a thing has been fulfilled, or the time for the purpose of the thing is over. To continue to use that thing is to abuse that thing. Or same thing, let's take away the word thing and say person. Same thing. Okay? Yeah, okay. Brothers and sisters, I've enjoyed sharing with you guys today, as I do every week. Man, this is what I live for, y'all. I'm telling you, this is what I live for. Doing this right here. Teaching the truth. I got a couple of questions this week, and I just, before I close out, let me do this right quick, okay? I get a lot of inquiries about, okay, or mess over here, about Ma'at, the statue over here, right? Okay, I get a lot of inquiries about that. What is that? It's beautiful. Well, it is a statue of Ma'at, and that's spelled M-A-A-T. Ma'at is a principle. It is the principle upon which all great African civilizations was built. And in fact, according to the Hosea, it is upon the foundation of Ma'at that creation came into existence. So you say, well, Brother Ray, what is Ma'at? Well, Ma'at is Ma'at. Okay? But since Ma'at is not an English word, and those of us who speak English must use English terms to describe Ma'at. So we say Ma'at is summed up in words like truth, justice, righteousness, harmony, balance, reciprocity, right order of things. All that. All of this makes up Ma'at. Okay? Another point I want you to notice is that Ma'at is always in the image of the feminine, always a female. Why? Okay? Because it is the divine feminine principle that holds all of creation together. And brothers, we better come to grips with that, man. Okay? See, we were, how can I say this? We were made to be out of our minds as a result of Eurocentric influence upon us. Okay, because the Europeans came in with that European machoistic, chauvinistic attitude. Okay, and then they put it in the Bible. And because you think that the Bible is something that it is not, it literally controls your very life. Brother Ray, what are you trying to say? I'm not trying to say, I'm saying it, doggone it. Okay? I'm almost at the point now to whereas when I hear a person refer to the Bible as though nothing existed before the Bible, okay, and a big giant divine hand came down out of the sky, okay, with a pen and blood for ink and wrote the Bible. That's the way people act. It's not what happened, y'all. People wrote the Bible and they put in it what they wanted in there. Understand that the human element is in the biblical text, even though it's supposed to be a divine communication, right? Ah. Okay, brother. So, family, free your mind. You know, I got to end this today. My time is up. But free your mind. You know, wow. Free your mind, please. Okay, I see what's happening to us, man, because we practice ignorance. See, just because you feel good doesn't mean it is good. Understand that. Just because it feels good, you're singing and all everything, and you feel no good, and and it gets, and you start losing yourself, and that's not good. You say, child, I'm praising God. No, you're not. You are having an emotional conniption. You want to praise, literally praise the Most High? Then do it in control of yourself. Now follow what I'm saying here, because the highest praise that you can give to God or the Most High is not physical emotionality. Okay? That's not the highest praise you can give. I hear people say, come on, give God a praise, and go give God a praise dance. And folks just go, the elbows get to doing, asses and elbows. That's what I call it, right? I see so much of that mess now on TikTok. It's ridiculous, man. And I see, look at us practicing ignorance. You go to church, you do that, and you come home and you didn't learn a doggone thing. Nothing. And then guess what? You end up teaching the nothing that you learned to your children. And you want to know why they turn out the way they do. Because you didn't give them what they needed to be strong. You didn't give them what they needed to walk away from the wrong. You didn't give them what they needed. Just say no. Okay? Our young people out here, man, practicing vices of various kinds. Come on here, people. So I got work to do. Oh yeah. I admit I got work to do. I ain't complaining. I got work to do, hey. But I love my job. I love it. Okay. And I love the fact that you guys make time every week to be right here with me. Look at y'all. Vittorio, Brother Wright, Seti, Arnell, and of course our elder, Baba Kwame, Asante, our brothers and sisters there at the African Village. And there's another Kwame here, all right? Kwame, okay, I'm not going to, Aboage. I think that's how they probably say that. Aboage. Aboage. Okay? Yeah. All right. Sister Warrior Sisters up there in Youngstown. I see you, Queen. Y'all Santi while there. Okay. Oh, yeah. To Linda and Jackson, Kay Jackson. Wow. And Brother and Sister Jackson, I met you guys yesterday in person at the Black Achievement Fund outing. It was so good meeting you guys, and thank you so much for the donation that you actually placed in my hand on yesterday. Thank you for that, and hey man, what can I tell you? I love what I do, and I'm gonna just keep on doing it. And I hope you guys love me too. All right, don't get tired of me, because I got to tell y'all the truth. I don't care how much resistance and opposition we come face to face with, the truth must be. I have to be true to my name as my truth speaker. Okay. Oh, family. Okay, let's do this and get out of here. Thank you again for the donations y'all have come in. Okay, and before I go, I want to say, please take a moment to visit the following website. In fact, let me type it here. Okay. BAF dot solutions. Okay, and that of course is for the Black Achievement Fund. Am I putting it up there right? Let's see. I want to put that on the screen for you guys. Yes. Okay. There you go. All right. Black BAF solutions. Family, go to that website. Go there. Go there. However you want to say it. Go there. Okay? Go there. Go on over there. Go on over there to BAF solutions. Go. Please go. In fact, while I'm talking to you, you can open a second window if you can and visit there right now. Okay? That's where I want you guys to be. I want everybody listening to me to become a member of the Black Achievement Fund, as well as the African Village, because the African Village and the Black Achievement Fund has now partnered with each other for our empowerment. As in deep how that happens, remember a few weeks ago, I told y'all, I said, while I was on my sick bed fighting COVID, Spirit spoke to me and said, you taught the people, now unite the people. I don't think if you guys remember I said that, right? It's deep how that happens, man. That was in my spirit. And now I see the organizations like the African Village and the Black Achievement Fund uniting, joining forces for the economic empowerment and liberation of our people. So brothers and sisters, go to the BAF Solutions, all right? Join, peruse the website. Peruse our, I can say our website because I'm a member. I wouldn't tell you to do something I haven't done. Okay? Come on. Listen, membership is $9 a month. $9 a month. Okay? $9 a month or $8 a year. I mean, come on. In fact, I talking to a brother the other day, and he just paid for the whole year up front. Just paid, yeah, man. Let's just knock this out for the whole year. $9 a month, y'all. Come on, for our empowerment. And now, listen, brother Arkey needs to be telling y'all about this right now. Okay, so I haven't learned how to sell it like he has yet, so I just send people to the website so you can see the vision. Go ahead and join. $9 a month. Okay, for our empowerment. $9. If you can't give up $9 a month to make us have a seat at the table when it comes to issues that matter, because we'll have a financial base to give us a voice. If you can't give up $9, then you're not serious. In fact, if you can't give $9 a month to our liberation, then you just blowing smoke. Yeah, that's all. Okay, so go ahead and join this family. All right, visit the Black Achievement Fund, and by all means, they're gonna ask, "How'd you hear about us?" And you tell them, "They're the African Village or Dr. Ray Hagins." Okay, all right, brothers and sisters, let's get out of here. Whoa, man, the African in me loves the African in you. When we come together, ain't nothing we can't do. That's right, PJ. $9 a month is less than what we eat at a fast food joint with stuff no good for us, right? Come on, everybody. And until next week, y'all stay strong. I've met all of you. The African in me. Come on. The African in me. Love the African in you. When we come together, ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy. You're easy. Easy to love. You're easy to love. The African in me. Love the African in you. When we come together, ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy. Okay, let me pause this for a minute. I see a very important question here. Cynthia Simons just asked the question, why is BAF 501c3? Well, we happen to live in a country that has a governmental structure, right? That says people can make donations and write it off on their taxes. That's why we're 501c3. Same thing with the African Village. Okay? And listen, it never ceases to amaze me how people ask certain questions and yet they're the first one to do such a thing that they're challenging, right? And I'm not saying that's the situation here, this sister, okay? But, when people say, you shouldn't be a 501c, why, what's wrong with being a 501? Because then you're controlled by the government. Bull crap. Where y'all get that stuff from, man? I'm not controlled by the government. Do it sound like the things I be teaching is under government control and we haven't lost our 501c3? 501c3 simply means that we are eligible or we are allowed to receive tax-exempt contributions. That's all. And if you want serious money from major corporations and foundations, they want you to be a 501c3, so they can write their donation off. So that's why we're 501c3. Okay, that's why. Yeah. All right, now. Let's go back and do this again. Okay. Yeah. Let's do the principles of my art. Oh, 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 oh. Hey, yeah, yeah. Ba, 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 da. You're easy to love. You're easy to love. Come on. The truth that's in me. Love the truth that's in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy. You're easy. Yeah, 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 yeah. Easy to love. You're easy to love. Yeah, yes you are. I'm looking at y'all's names here. The justice in me. Love the justice in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy. Yeah, you're easy. You're easy to love. Oh, I love it, y'all. You're easy to love. The righteousness in me. Come on, everybody. The righteousness in me. Love the righteousness in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy. You're easy. Hey, hey, yeah. Easy to love. Oh, all right, let's close out with the African in me. Love the African in you. Everybody sing it. The African in me. Love the African in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy. Yeah, 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 you're easy. Yeah. Whoa, you're easy to love. Brothers and sisters, I've met all of you. Thank you for being with me today. I trust what I said today made sense to you. All right? And, hey, man, you guys out there stay strong, okay? Take care of yourself. And we'll see you on Wednesday night and next Sunday. All right? Peace, family.